How much longer is this gonna take?
Your daughter's on the line. Just running the encryption.
Black hell!
What's up, Gerb?
The data you glommed off the rig. There's no way the Georgians could have gotten this much intel without a man inside the CIA.
Fisher, you're up.
Dad?
Sarah. Hi.
Where are you?
On my way home.
I thought you were gonna call last week.
Something came up. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Were you in Georgia?
Honey, you know I can't answer that.
Yeah, I know. I was just watching it on TV. Ah!
Sarah. Sarah! Wilkes, you okay?
I think so.
Hope everybody's all right back there. We just had a faulty collision warning. I've never seen anything like it. Entire herd went haywire.
Anybody have a line back to 3rd Echelon?
I'm here, Fisher.
What the hell's going on?
Nicolad's just declared war on the U.S.
What?
The Georgians hit our communications, transportation, power grids. We still don't know how extensive the damage is.
What's our defense? What are we doing?
What do we have? Nicolad's caught us with our pants down. All we've got is the laptop you pulled off the oil rig.
My daughter.
I know. I've got people heading over there. This whole country's a mess.
I need to see Sarah.
You know what you need to do. We're helpless until we find Nicolad's. You're heading for the CIA. Your mission just became critical.
Failure at the Red Bear Army Community Hospital in Mississippi resulted in 17 deaths and over 30 injuries. Both county electricity and backup generators were destroyed, leaving military train traveling to Norfolk, Virginia collided with a commuter rail line after an apparent failure of its automated routing system. U.S. military has not released the contents of the train's cargo, though federal authorities have evacuated a 20-mile radius surrounding the wreckage. Though no official death toll has been given, initial reports indicate the deaths of over 40 enlisted men. Potential civilian casualties are believed to be much lower.
Newspapers talking about cyber terrorism, an information crisis, information warfare. Call it what you will, but realize that no American is safe until we mobilize our army.
Rescue workers, their information grid entirely disabled, were unable to respond to the crash for nearly an hour. Injuries became fatalities as, to combat Nicolad's, the Georgian president still in hiding. Though his first wave of cyber terrorism focused on military targets, intelligence proposes that a large-scale civilian target could just as easily...
We have faced terror before and triumphed. I promise here to the American people that we will triumph again. Earth is too small a place for the perpetrators of these acts to hide. The United States and her allies will enact a justice that is swift, true, and absolute.
Time to get to work, Fisher. Let me reiterate. We cannot afford any casualties. The NSA doesn't operate in the U.S. We don't spy on other agencies.
I'm not here.
That's right. You've lost existence privileges until the mission's over. We've synced a timer on your OPSAT to a pause in the ventilation system fans. You'll have a limited window of opportunity to use it for insertion.
What's up, ladies and gents? CenterStrain01, your host here, and welcome back, of course, to more Splinter Cell. This is the CIA headquarters mission, definitely one of the toughest missions, but also one of the funnest in the game. And I'm going to show you some cool things that maybe you definitely didn't see in my last playthrough. We're going to get through this with only taking technically 2 people out, and those are both mandatory knockouts. Those are the only knockouts that we're going to do. Everything else, we're going to find a way to get around. So again, trying to challenge myself in this version or in this walkthrough. Previously, I would take out multiple enemies. I'd knock them out. I'd always hide bodies. I'd still remain stealthy. But In this specific instance, we are only going to take out, at least in this walkthrough, anyone that we absolutely 100% have to take out. And those are 2 guys. One guy is at the very, 2 guys are kind of at the very end of the mission, so those are the only guys we're actually taking out. Everyone else, we can find a way around them. Now, this means you have to exploit the game slightly, and I will explain that a little bit more once we actually come up to it. But for now, we're just going to wait here for this guy to move. There is a camera over there. We don't have our camera jammer yet, so we can't get around it. It is the kind of camera that I believe you cannot shoot, so therefore we need to just wait until it's looking on the left side, and then we can get around. Now, immediately once you get right here, this guard will start moving in this direction. It is kind of like a script, so therefore you need to just sit here and wait for him to move by, and it's going to create, the game itself will create an opportunity for us to move along, because he's going to turn, and this is what I do. So when I go through these missions, and you can watch them on facebook.com/CenterStrain01, and you can see exactly how I learn these. I figure out which directions that the enemies turn in. I know it's not realistic, but if you know which direction they turn in, then you can exploit that. He turns to the left, which means that if we just get on his right side, stay still, do not move forward onto that railing yet, or onto that stairs, because if you do, you'll make too much noise as soon as you step on it, and then he'll immediately turn around. It can be a little tough to do, but just time it right, wait till he moves a little bit, and you're good to go. Here, you got to wait for this script to happen. Once he goes through the door, then you can kind of move on up, and then we're going to head inside. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's also another way to get inside the CIA headquarters by not using the fan. But I don't think I've ever done that, because I've always preferred the stealthy approach as opposed to going straight through the front door or something like that. So it's up to you. You can do it whichever way you want, but this way, even though it does add more enemies and whatnot, it provides that kind of stealth desire that we all have inside us. So once we actually get inside here, it's not going to be too difficult. We're going to stay to the left, back. There is a guard that patrols up and down the middle section, but very easy to get around. We're just going to climb this file cabinet here, conveniently placed. And we're going to head over to the other side. There are 2 guards that are looking in the direction that we actually came into this room, so that's why you don't want to go straight across the room from where we were, or else these guards will see us. There are metal detectors, so you can't go straight through there, so you're going to have to go through this door. Now, this is how you know if you're going to be good or not. You've got to time it, okay? It may look like I'm just opening the door and I don't know what I'm doing, but I do, all right? This is how you time it. The guard that patrols up and down the hallway, he specifically goes up and down. When he is in the direction, or when he is closer to you where the 2 guys are, that is when you want to make sure you go through that door. And I already knew this, so I knew he was there, which means I knew that I can go ahead and get around him. Even if he did slightly see me, that doesn't matter. That is what you want to do. Otherwise, he will actually be in the other side of the room, and then he'll see you every time you enter. So make sure the guy patrolling down and up and down that hallway is closer to you as opposed to being at the very far end of the room. Here, we're just going to wait. Do not do this too soon, as you don't want 2 guards that you have to mess with. You'd rather just have 1. So he's going to enter into this elevator. Also, make a mental note that if you look on the opposite side of this room, in the back wall, not straight ahead, back that way, there's that. You see the guard up there? He is that guard that you got by earlier, so he can still see you from that point, so just be careful. We're going to use a little distraction. Now, we're not going to immediately move forward. We're going to wait until this guy turns around, and then he's going to come back in the opposite direction, and then he's going to do like a little patrol pattern. Once he starts doing that, then it is okay to go ahead and flip the switch on the elevator. It's going to take a few seconds for the elevator to come back. So, wait back in darkness. He will continue to make his rounds, moving different directions. Once you hear the noise that the elevator doors have opened, then you can go in, but just remember that it's on the left side, or right side once you enter. And then we're going to head downstairs, and we have a whole new section. Very, very fun level. I definitely recommend that if you're going to play Splinter Cell, you got to at least try this level out, or at least get to this level.
Just got word from our man inside. He says your F-2000's in place. You can retrieve it in the storage room behind the generator backup.
Goody.
I'd be ignorant not to arm you, but keep it holstered. One agency fatality means the mission's over.
Just remember there is a guy back there that opens the door as soon as you pass that little section, so be careful when you're going through. We're going to get on this computer because there is a code that we need to get into the server room.
Looks like we're covered. Like I said, this is tight as security gets unless Congress admits...
Now here, normally, in order to be able to get into the next section, you have to take out a specific guard.
I think we can maintain.
But we're not going to.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just tired.
Overtime?
I'm on hour 15.
It's a crisis, man. Crunch time.
Meaning I gotta get back to it.
I'll see you around.
If you time everything right, the one guard is going into the soda can area, the vending area. This guy is leaving now. You can get here, but you got to be super quick because the guard will be coming back and going through this area, and he could see you sometimes. Now, notice where the light is. There's actually a guard right here. He is someone that you actually have to take out. Like, there's no way around it. You have to take this guy out in order to get the code. However, I took him out before I hit the record button, and I got his code. So therefore, I know the code, and the code does not change, at least in this game. So even though technically you have to take him out, but you don't have to do it on this walkthrough that you see. You just have to do it before. You have to take him out, find the code, or find it online or something, and then do it. So it's a little bit of an exploit. There's no way around taking that guy out unless you already know the code, pretty much. We're going to be doing that a few times throughout the game. Even though it legitimately doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's just the way it is. And we're going to use this computer, and I'm going to show you a cool little trick up ahead. So, we've got the code, which is 110598, and remember the main server code is 2019 from the previous computer that we hacked. So, enter the code, and I'm going to show you how you can get by this next room with no problem at all. Now, I didn't come up with this or anything, but it is pretty cool.
Okay.
Split jump here on top, and then we're going to jump to the other side. Now, a lot of people may have had problems with this section, and then you can just get right by. It's a lot easier than you think. Might take you a few tries, but you'll get it.
Hold up.
Grab our weapons, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
Okay. 0J-8675305. 0J-8675306. 0J-8675306.
Now, you'll see that this guy up here, now you don't have to do what I do. I was debating whether or not I wanted to get the distractable item. You can actually go right behind him, grab the soda can, and get out. But I was like, yeah, I better do it, because the soda can is actually going to be very, very important for the next section if you want to get by without taking anyone out. Another very, very difficult section because of the way that the guards are not really guards, but because of the way the repair guys are like kind of situated, it can make it very, very tough. Here, you just gotta wait.
GPS shows you within sight of the server. Grim's daughter's standing by. She'll be ready to trace the leak as soon as you can get us access.
Once he is moving away from you, that is when you want to move up. But do not go inside the server room. If you do, he will see you because there's so much light. So you want to wait and get in this shadow right here. Once he turns back around and goes the other direction, that is when you can enter the server room. Any other time, he will see you every single time. There's just too much light in this room. Remember, the server code is 2019. We're going to go through the left side first, and we're going to throw the can in the corner. I actually figured this out on stream. It was actually pretty fun. Now, you want this guard to see you. So stand right here, so you're like there. He'll turn a little bit. He'll kind of see you, and he'll be like thinking, "Who's up there?" What that does is it ruins his his timing, so it makes everything perfect. There's also the guy that's up in the left side on the top of the room.
Just there. The leak is a low security PC registered to one Mitchell Daugherty.
Great. Doherty's PC is your new objective, Fisher.
So watch out for him. But you can get by that guy. It kind of like this guy ruins his what he's supposed to do. So normally he was gonna go to the other room up here. He was gonna go around and he was gonna check on what he saw. But he couldn't do that because the other guy was blocking him. So he stopped that route and he went back towards the can. It's like a perfect opportunity for you to use, and it works pretty much every time. So
Too much coffee. I'm getting jittery.
here, obviously, you want to wait. Same tactics apply. Because there's so much light in this room, you don't want to, have to worry about that. But as I was saying, because you didn't take out the guard that was in the room above, he can see through the area. So you do not want to get in the bottom section anywhere else from where you actually saw me. Here you can just hide. Very tough to get by this guy without somewhat being seen. But just wait until he is, running along, doing a pattern. And we can go ahead and start moving on to the next area. There is one guard that is patrolling this area right here. So I don't know where he's going to be on yours. Maybe your timing's not the same as mine. But go ahead and wait for him because he will be patrolling up and down this hallway.
All smoking is restricted to designated smoking terraces on the 5th floor.
And you're free to move on to the next section, and we have our next checkpoint. Here, you just want to jump. The greatest ability in the game. And I think they took that away in Blacklist, right? Or in Conviction, I don't think you can jump either. Which is crazy. Every game you should have the ability to jump. It just makes sense. Alright, so there's cameras we have to worry about here. But if you see that the way that they're moving, you can figure out how to get by them. There's also a guard up top of these stairs on the left. So he can see you sometimes, but there's enough darkness in this room that it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So stay back here until these cameras are out of the way. And you can move by them. And we can move on to the next section. Just got to worry about this little civilian guy here. Not too big of a deal. He's copying some papers. Now here, there's nothing you can do about this. You absolutely 100% have to take the light out. It's the only way to get by this without being seen by the camera. So use your brand new weapon and shoot the light. And you've already got the code. 110700. And you're ready to move on to the next section.
Well, tell Clarence I'm gonna have his ass and his badge for this. Because I'm looking at agency photographs of Red Bear on TV. Find out what agency media the press has. Anything they haven't shown yet, get back before they do. I don't know. I don't care. Fix it.
Can't really get by this guy until he starts moving, unless you want to distract him or whatever, but he's going to head over to the soda machine. And you can enter. There is a turret here. There's a computer there as well. Get a data stick if you want. Use your lockpick. Or you could use your disposable. I don't like to use the disposables just because I love the lockpick minigame in the Splinter Cell series. I think it's fun. Enter this elevator, and we are going to be heading, I believe, to the roof. Or to the upper area. And we'll have a whole new section. Because I'm Sam Fisher. I get in and out without being seen. Giggity.
I just sent you Doherty's file. He's in information retrieval, Office 508.
What do I do with Daugherty?
Stay out of his way for now. We'll get back to you when we find more on him.
Alright, this section pretty easy. The game gives you an obvious way for you to go. Get behind the desks, wait for the other guy on the other side of the room to not be looking, enter the room, and then immediately go to the room that you see our main target exiting out of. Now, you probably won't know it's him at first, but this guy that's coming out of the room right now is the guy that we are going to be messing with a little bit later, so we want to get in his office and grab his computer. You always know if computer you need to actually do because it has that red screen.
Great work, Fisher. How are we doing, Grim?
Working on it. Very clever back door. Looks like Philip Mass's work. Bouncing to a server. Surf Kalina _VA.
We'll call back. Fisher, we're gonna need you to bag Daugherty.
What happened with Grimstad?
We'll worry about that. You worry about Daugherty. Wait for him to take a smoke break. It'll make grabbing him easier. Details on your offset.
Pretty simple. Into the room. We're going to wait for this guy to finish talking. And then Mr. I wear my sunglasses inside to move, and then we'll be good to go.
Generator. Agent Marks has been trying to sell us on the idea of electrostatic
Death by
fuel
PowerPoint.
bombs, but the blast radius doesn't fit.
Us in the military know this well.
Logic bomb activated in the hospital's
He wears his sunglasses inside so he can. Sorry, I did that in the last walkthrough too, I think. It's just too funny. Come on, give me a break.
These are hospital security access codes. The only parties who have these codes are hospital directors and us. If these codes came from CIA files, then... Excuse me, yeah? Yeah.
Once he moves, then you're free to go?
Oh, hold on a sec. I'm gonna be a few minutes if you guys want to take a break. All right, I'm back.
And we'll go ahead and use the disposable pick. Why not?
Oh, man, that's rough, Don. Yeah. Like on the train. Is she all right? She's fine, but it was close. I mean, she says she saw bodies. Hey, careful with coffee. So, now my whole family's spooked. My wife doesn't want to send the kids to school tomorrow. You spilled your coffee. Christ. In fact, I'm supposed to call her. I gotta run.
All right, I'm going for a smoke. You gonna be around later?
No, I'm taking off.
Hey, you spilled coffee. Somebody's gonna have to clean that up.
I gotta run, Mitch. Take it easy.
All right, so there is our main guy. Stick here on this wall so that way this guy doesn't see you when he comes by. As far as I know, he stays in the room that he's going to and he doesn't come out. But he could come out if you wait too long. Now, you can actually kidnap Daugherty now if you wanted to. But one thing you need to remember is that in order to go through doors, you can't have him on your back. So it's best just to let him run his course until he gets into the rec room. Saves you a little bit of the pain of carrying him, dropping him, opening a door, picking him back up. I love the animations in Splinter Cell. Still to this day, some of the best animations ever. Even though it's not realistic to crouch walk like that, it looks so freaking cool. All right, at this point, you can go ahead and take him out. I recommend you do it now instead of waiting until he gets all the way inside.
Junior Wilkes is in position for extraction. He's with Special Agent Baxter, an interrogations expert. They've got a disappearance truck parked in the back.
Two different ways you can do this. You can actually keep him held and then enter and then keep walking with him until you get outside. Then you can knock him out and then you can start dragging him because you're a little bit faster. Or you could do it this way. I actually recommend that you keep him held in your hands for as long as you can until you go outside. Sometimes this door doesn't want to open. As you can see, it takes a while sometimes. And sometimes it won't open when you have him held. Like, so that's why I opened it, and then I came back. But then I realized it shut again, and I got scared, and I was like, oh, great. That sucks. But it actually will open. It will open, so don't be, afraid. When I did this previously, when I was practicing through it, the door would not open when I had him in my body, or when I had him on top of my shoulders, and therefore I was like, well, maybe you can't do it. So, but I guess you can. Stay on the left or right side here. Even though it looks like we're right next to a light, which we are, it's still considered to be stealthy. So, makes no sense, but whatever. All right, once he goes back the opposite direction, that is your time to go and move forward. If, for some reason, that you decide to do it at a different timing, I don't know if you're going to make it because you're in so much light here, and obviously anybody could see you. So I recommend waiting until you know that he's heading back the opposite direction. Makes the most sense that you'll have enough time to get into the darkness again right here. This is the longest and most drawn-out part because you have to literally carry him all the way to the extraction, which can take a while.
I've got another complication for you. Some CIA security dick is chatting up Junior Wilkes and Baxter.
How were they spotted?
They weren't hiding. NSA presence on Langley is completely legit.
The only problem is me and Daugherty.
Right. A SIGINT ninja with an unconscious bureaucrat on his shoulder is less than copacetic, so don't let him see you.
As I said, you can't open the door unless you actually drop him. Here, do not run. We're going to walk a little bit until we get down at the end of the stairs. Then you can stand up once you get to that point. Otherwise, this guard, or not really a guard, he's a civilian worker, will see you. Because he actually just got into that position right there as soon as we entered the door. So remember that. He will see you if you move too fast. But you do want to be quick here. That's why I'm walking and not crouching. Once we get close enough, then we can start crouching again, because we want enough time to be able to go through this door, because this guard goes up a little bit, then he turns right back around. So you don't have a lot of time. This guard down here does the same thing over and over. It's like a 3-step process. You're free to move down once he's starting to head right. Get all the way to the right side as much as you can. Even though you're against the light, he cannot see with his peripheral vision, and stay to the right. As soon as he passes you enough, then you can start moving forward very quietly. This next guy is a very, very tricky character to get around. And it's not that he's tricky to get around. It's very easy to get around him. The problem is you have a section at the bottom that has a very, very, very long stretch of light. And because of the way that this guard's patterns are, you literally can get all the way down there without spooking him, without anything like that. And he goes all the way back up here. He does his whole pattern, yada, yada. But he still has enough time to come back down and actually see you, unless you wait again. And it's a lot of waiting, and I don't want you to have to go through a lot of waiting. So what we're going to do is we are going to get his attention. Not up here because he's too close. So we're going to wait until he's actually almost on his way down, because then that provides us enough time to get into the little cover that the game has provided for you. Most likely to put the body so that you can actually probably just go up and knock him out, because it does say incapacitate the CIA security, but we're only going to take out the one guy that is mandatory. So get seen by this guy and move into this right box here. Once he sees you, he's going to come right here, but then he's going to go back in the opposite direction, or he's going to go in the direction that you came from. And he's going to be up here for a very long time, which is going to give you enough time to just continually make your way all the way to where the end of the level is. Again, you can do that without getting his attention, but you will absolutely 100% either have to shoot out the lights or you have to wait. This long stretch right there that you see straight ahead has a lot of light. So, again, very simple. If you don't want to wait like that, and you don't want to do it the way that I did it, you can just probably take out this light here to the left to get rid of the light. You can hide in the corner there until he passes again. But why do that when, I mean, it takes way too much time. This guy is mandatory. You absolutely 100% have to take him out. There is no way around it.
You mean you actually
Now,
deal with
trick
humans
is making sure this guy up here doesn't see it. So once he is not looking, grab him and then hide his body over here. Now, the other part is because you stand in this area for a very long time out in the open, and the guard up there will be able to see you sometimes. So you've got to get the timing right on when to go in, where to drop the body, so as he doesn't see you. So you don't want to do it when this guy is moving in that direction, because there's just not enough time for him to turn around and see you. And this is not a big deal, because at this point the mission's over. You just get in there, the mission will end, and you'll still be alive. It won't be a problem. But we don't want that noise of him seeing us and then like chaos ensuing, and hearing that noise is just not something we like.
Thank God, I thought he would never go away.
This our friend?
That's the man.
Pleased to meet you.
And that must
So
be
you can see what I'm doing. I'm getting over
We're
here.
not going
He can't see me from here, even though it looks like I'm in
the.
the complete light. He's above us, but he can't see us. So you just want to wait just slightly a little bit to where
Did
his
Lambert tell
timing
you
is a
about
little
Sarah?
bit different.
No.
She's fine. The blackout.
And you'll see his
spooked her,
head
but
move
she's
here, even though you can't
completely all right.
really see him that much right
Don't
now.
get too emotional. Let's get out of here.
Thanks, Wilkes.
And there you go. As you can see, he can't see you from this angle the way that we did it, and we're good to go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Thanks to the Patreons for your help making it possible. And hopefully you guys enjoyed CIA mission. And Sam Fisher will return in mission number 6, which is the toughest mission in the game. And stealth is a little different. Love you guys.
Peace.